guys, I hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for joining me for another Krita tutorial. If you've seen my previous videos, then you know how to create a new file and set your Dockers for an easy flow workspace. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the brushes that are available to you. So the first thing you got to do, of course, is open up that new file. I'm just going to select the canvas that I created in the first video, which is for some reason a 12 by 14. Don't ask me why, but let's just go from there. At the top of the screen below the menus, you will see a small square with a picture of a brush in it, and to the right of that there is another little square that is your brush preset option. So we're going to go right ahead and click on the brush preset option button, and this opens up all of our brushes. Click the drop down menu and select all. That allows you to view all of the brushes that we can use. As you can see, there are 229 brushes, and to go through each and every one of these would take forever. So for today, I'm going to show you some of my most used brushes and how you can create a tag for easy access. In order to create your first tag, we're just going to open up the brush preset menu. I'm going to select the eraser that's on the left because why not? Just right click, and then you're going to click assign to tag. At the very bottom of that list, it says new tag. So go right ahead and put whatever title you'd like. I used my name. Some people will say for work, for business, production, whatever you like to do. And we're going to do this for every single brush that we want to put in our own tag. Just right click, assign to tag, and then click the name that you've given it. All of these brushes will now be visible to you in your own brush presets Docker, which I have at the bottom right of my page. First up, erasers. I don't really use an eraser as a brush preset because there is an option to make literally any brush essentially an eraser, but the one that I do enjoy having is this one called Eraser Soft. I like it because it creates a fade of color rather than erase the line completely. So if I'm working on a face and I have some harsh line work, I can use this eraser to soften certain areas up without having to change the entire line work on my painting. It's the only actual eraser brush that I use, so let's move on to some of the other brushes. The first one is an airbrush, which I love to use for adding glow or blending. I currently have it set so that the pressure of my pen changes the opacity of the airbrush, but if you prefer, you can change it so that the pressure of the pen changes the size of the tip, which I will show you in an upcoming video. We won't get all into that right now. My next favorite brush is the Basic Size 5 brush. Basic 5 size brush. I use this one for all over even coloring when drawing my characters. It's just really easy to get a solid opaque color base down with this brush. It's ideal for drawing cartoons where there are no large variations in color. Next up, I use the Blender Blur brush. This brush is great to use with the Basic 5 brush because you can use it to blend out color for a blur effect and add a softer edge. For instance, whenever you're adding shadows or highlights, this blender brush makes it so much easier than to blur the entire image. This way you can pick whichever specific areas you want to blur out. So it is great if you're doing portraits. The next three brushes I love to use when I want something that has a little more of a painted feel. Bristle Detail is a great way to add line work for small details that don't look absolutely perfect, just like in real paintings. And Bristle's Hairy is a great brush for layering colors to get a real nice painted yet blended look. It helps to know a little bit about color theory and knowing what happens when two or more colors mix. That will definitely help you when using this brush. Every great piece of art also starts with a sketch, and that is no different when it comes to digital art. So for my sketching process, I love to use Pencil 5 Tilted. This pencil is a great brush because it uses something called a tilt feature. Basically what that means is that when you have a pressure sensitive pen on a tablet and you literally tilt it, it'll give you a little bit of a different edge, which is awesome for creating shadows. So it is how I like to plan my shadows anytime I am doing a portrait of a face. Another great brush that I enjoy is the Blender Smear brush. This brush is great for creating smoke or hair because it pushes and pulls the color away from the original source rather than just blurring it away. The last three brushes that I'm going to talk about for this tutorial are more for adding details and texture to my pieces. For instance, the sponge texture brush is great for adding details to skin or backgrounds. And I love that you can build the color with this texture as well. Also, the texture splat brush, I personally love using for creating freckles. And last but certainly not least is the brush I use about 95% of the time, and that is the star stamp, because nothing is more magical than twinkly little stars. I use this stamp to not only make stars, but to create sparkly details for jewelry and eyes. And that is about all I have to say on the Krita brushes. Feel free to go ahead and experiment and assign your favorite brushes to your tags. If you are enjoying my Krita tutorials, please subscribe for more, and I will be back with another tutorial soon. See ya!